Good. Relative,
Good as could be, exactly, right?
yeah, relatively speaking.
Yes.
Stuff again. What is it?
Bye, Roderick. Come, Roderick.
Bye, Roderick. How you doing? Hey, Roderick, is Nancy too?
Yeah.
Nancy and Roderick, why don't you just step in and just, we'll introduce you real quick.
Okay.
This is Roderick Smith.
Hello, everyone.
And
Hi,
Nancy,
Rod.
and Nancy Glenn.
Hi, Dance.
Both are our new rec supervisors that are working for us. They started within, Nancy started July, the extravaganza week, and Roderick 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah, so all is good. Thanks, guys.
How's he treating you all right?
He's done okay.
He asked me, what should I do? I said, well, do you know how I like my coffee? No.
Good boy.
All right, thanks,
Okay, we
guys.
all set?
Yep. We're good to go.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the Park and Rec Board meeting for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. The time is 6:02.
Yes.
And history?
Yes.
Wow. Good.
Melissa, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Jay Vitalico,
Here.
Richard De Silva, Billy De Blasio,
Here.
Eileen Francolino, here, Thomas Gill,
Here.
Tim Hutt Wagner,
Here.
Anthony Poloski, Matthew Poloski, Ed Marchand,
Here.
Nicole Payne, and Don Woods.
Here.
For liaisons, Tim Mankey, Kim Rada. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Tim's sitting in a conflict time.
Okay, can we stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, we have approval of the minutes for. Can we hit the light? I can't see this thing. Thank you.
We're used to dim light.
Yeah. June 21st, 2022. Any additions or subtractions? If not, can I have a motion?
So move. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Opposed participation, I don't see any.
No.
Okay, correspondence, Phil.
We have 4 letters, emails that were sent to you. I think Melissa distributed them already. A nice guy, he lives on, I think it's Winding Brook or someplace on an island there. And our guys cut the islands and trim it and all that, so he was happy about that. And I should note that he did donate $20 towards fireworks, so that was kind of fun. And then he had, what's the other 2, Melissa?
The letter from
That
Pat
quote,
Cloud
quote.
Oh,
for the memorial benches.
yeah, so we did some memorial benches for family, and they were appreciative of the park guys and played Let It Go, so it's kind of nice.
And the last one with the Erickson Hanson funeral.
Oh, and the Hanson Funeral Home out of New Britain had a pleasant experience and wanted us to know what a good job Clay and the guys did at the cemetery. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Bill. Anything on the monthly report? Any questions or additions or explanations on the monthly report?
There's nothing out of the ordinary there, really.
Anything on the tree warden report?
No, we just
Cutting a lot of trees down? or what?
seem to get a lot of tree complaints, There's $30 million worth of street trees, and it doesn't go really a day or 2 without getting a complaint.
You ever get a conflict with the, between the sidewalk and the
Sidewalk and curb, or if there's no sidewalk, about 10 feet from the street is the general law by state. But we check every GPS.
Is it normally 25 from the center of the street?
I don't know about the center of the street because every street's different width.
Yeah.
So we always go from the edge of the street
Street
10
in.
feet in.
Okay. Okay, no old business?
Nope.
New business is the 2022 CRPA Awards nomination.
Yeah, so the Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association has a state conference. It's 2 days at Mohegan Sun every year, Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And they have a whole bunch of awards that they give out. Eileen Francolino has won one, and Don Woods has won one. And Billy, did you win one? During COVID, right?
Yep.
So we nominate a lot of people, and in this particular case, we nominated Tony Palomino as a Volunteer of the Year award. And we nominated Elliot Markman, who you might have met him. He's like he goes to Southern Connecticut, his second year as an intern with us, but doing a great job. And we put him in for a scholarship for CRPA. And the third person we put in was, our program, the Night of Lights Program of Merit. The Life Being an Extravaganza has won that in the past, but now we put in, this is our second year putting in the Night of Lights. And then we also put in Campbell Cooling. Unfortunately, we just got notified today, Campbell Cooling did not win, but all three others did win. So I am asking you to, just for the record, to vote to approve them and wholeheartedly endorse them. And then I'm also happy to tell you that we just got an email this morning, and we brought Elliot and Tony into my office and read the email, and they were very excited. So it was a nice day this morning for Parks and Recreation. So that we need a motion for that, Jay.
Okay, is this the one for September 20th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don, you want to read that?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to wholeheartedly endorse the 4 nominations to be forwarded to the CRPA Awards Committee for their review. Campbell Cooling LLC and Barney Barker Oil Company, selected organization. Elliot Markman, Student Scholarship. Tony Palomino, Volunteer of the Year, and Newington's Light of Life Program of Merit.
And the second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And the winners will be notified in writing by snail mail, and they'll probably get, I think they get an extra ticket to the luncheon to bring a guest if they so desire. And of course, the commission is always invited to attend also. And the town or the department would pay for it.
Okay, next is the 2022 Building Strong Community Award.
These are our local department awards, and we nominated 4 groups. And let's see,
Happy hearings.
Happy Hearings Wine and Liquor, unbelievable. Kamal is a manager owner. I think his last name is it Patel.
It is.
He just fabulous. It's at this Water Lantern Festival. Just a quick side note. We went in there to get the beer and wine, and I said, how much do you want to donate? How much do you want us to pay for? And he said, just take everything. We want to help the fireworks program. So he's a great candidate. Diane, Sarah, and Carol Annis, thank you. Volunteer both in the 3 programs in June and the 4 nights at the extravaganza. They put in 37 hours or so of volunteer work, serving beer and wine and IDs and all that. So that's another nomination. Campbell Cooling, as all of you know, he sponsored Mike Manelli to come to the extravaganza. Without Campbell Cooling, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So we're thankful for him. And I think it's great time to recognize Jamie Campbell. He's just such a great icon of Newington and doesn't get a lot of recognition, in my opinion. Oh, and Victor and Donna Fontana are, they've been volunteer coaching girls basketball for 20 years. This is their 20th year. And their daughter, Ashley, who grew up in the program, certainly is now well grown up and moved on, and they still keep volunteering and doing a great job and encouraging young girls to do the right thing. So I'd like to nominate them too for your approval.
Ms. Francolino, would you like to read the motion?
Sure, I just was gonna say, I don't make a regular habit of going to Happy Harry's, but I stopped there the other day and I don't know the guy that was behind the counter, but I was guessing maybe it was him. I said, are you know, he's doing his brother and whatever. So we had this nice conversation about how much they all love Parks and Recreation and they can do whatever they can and whatever. So it was a good meeting.
That's nice.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes. Okay, so I make a motion to accept the 4 nominations for the 2022 Building a Strong Community Awards winners. Happy Harry's Wine and Liquor Warehouse, Campbell Cooling LLC, Victor and Donna Fontana, and Carol Annis and Diana Sarah.
And second,
Second.
Tim, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So just for the boards, if you want to mark your calendars, we'll probably have, if COVID stays off like it is, we would probably have a reception prior to a town council meeting on December 13th. That's what we will ask for. It works for the schedule for everybody, and it's a nice time of year to do a little get together. So if you have the ability to stop in here, plan on it and keep you posted.
Just one other thing about Victor, I don't know whether everybody knows or not, he works for the town. But if you notice the distinct improvement to the community gardens around town, the signs and municipal beds, that's all courtesy of him. He does a nice
Wow.
job. Nice job.
He works about 19 hours a week in the Parks Division. He's retired and just loves flowers and gardening. And he does, as Don said, he's a great job.
It's nice to have a guy like that.
Yeah.
around, you know.
I mean, it's a remarkable difference. If
Yeah.
anyone paid attention to the beds prior
Yeah.
to today.
Okay, next one is the fall program guide.
Yep, every quarter we give you the program guide. This is what the staff worked hard on and reread and read and correct and recorrect again. But we're looking for you to review the program offerings and the fees, the rental fees, the program fees, and just get a general feeling for the programs and the special events. And that will be distributed or has been distributed. No, it's coming. Has been already. Okay, so November, we have our deadline for the next one. They seem to just blend together. It's brutal. But that would be what we would, that already went and was mailed directly through the Life magazine to 13,500 households.
I was,
Oh, that's nice.
have swimming lessons in the winter always been Rocky Hill and Newington, or is that a new thing or?
It's the.
That's the recreation swim.
Recreation.
Yes.
We used to do all 3 towns, Weathersfield, Rocky Hill, and Newington, but Weathersfield closed their indoor pool.
Did,
Yeah,
how come?
I couldn't say for the record. I don't know for sure.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's horrible.
Yeah.
Just one thing also on the fall program, since a certain young lady has taken over the design of the fall programs, speaking specifically to the deal, they are noticeably more graphically
Thank you.
and very creative. And I think it's easy. You see that, you might want to just pick it up and read it. That's before Ed used to do it.
Didn't take me long to get rid of it.
Block letters and scripts. Just trying to make you look.
Mission accomplished.
Nice job, Ed.
No, but in all seriousness, you should really look through them.
Thank you.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
It's a lot of work there, a lot of work.
And if you can imagine, the programs are 7 days a week, right? So there's something going on in Newington all the time, it's just, people don't realize the intensity of the programs and how many there are and what's going on all over town in the elementary schools, the middle schools, high school, and then at the community center here.
Tom, you want to give it a shot? The motion?
Here, Tom.
Gotta follow along. So much paperwork here, it's,
There's a light on.
yeah.
Motion to accept the fall program guide, including the fees and charges associated with each event, program, and facility.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Frank Colino, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Okay, the next item is the Eagle Park
Do we have a picture up on the screen?
handicap.
Yes.
It's in the packet too.
Okay.
There's a much better colored one. on
Oh,
the
yeah,
screen.
much better, yeah.
So the next, as you all know, I think that we're trying to redo a neighborhood park one a year. And we're in the process of doing Beechwood Park. And now the next plan is to go to Eagle Park. And at Eagle, we're trying to get the best, newest, latest, hottest design. And this is what we came up with through Landscape Structures out of Iowa and Boston. And it's got a theme of sky, hot air balloons and things like that. And it addresses the little toddlers from 3 to 5 year olds, and it's 5 and up on the other side there. And it wraps around the existing basketball court, which we just recolor coded and crack sealed. And it looks like if the budget stays the way it is and what we anticipate next year, that we'll be able to add a pickleball court on the south side of the basketball court. So it really will be a nice facelift for the neighborhood. And it'll be our second there's 2 at Churchill. It'll be our 3rd outdoor pickleball court. Is the fastest growing sport in America for the last 2 years. So it's incredible what pickleball is doing. I just read an article, Chicago just built something like 68 pickleball courts outside. So it's crazy. It's a phenomenon that's all over the place. And I don't think it's going to be going away because there's more national United States pickleball associations. There's tournaments everywhere. Most of the indoor courts are making pickleball courts. So it's quite nice.
How's the vandalism in the neighborhood parks? Not too bad?
I don't think it's any different than our 3 regional parks. Vandalism happens pretty much everywhere. It's if you're bringing up vandalism, and I'm going to vent a little bit, the one that gets me the wickedest is we get complaints about the skate park, and there's a culture about, graffiti at a skate park. And so we tried a variety of things, power washing, hot water, blah, blah, blah. But now we moved to painting the pavilion post black. In the pavilion black, we power washed the concrete. And so now with black magic markers, it's not as much fun.
Mhm.
Well, now they're buying white magic markers. So, and then they got a ladder, and on the upper roof inside of the pavilion, they spray painted the roof. So they're getting to me every couple months. We go there and try to clean it up, but it's an ongoing battle. And for anybody, if you're out in public and people say, "Oh, they don't do anything about it," we work on that darn thing every 2 months. It's just been it's a struggle. And then, as you probably heard, the police caught a guy that stole $10,000 worth
saw
of
that.
tools. But he was in jail already, so it didn't matter. I don't anticipate getting any money back from it, but we did put in a claim to our town's insurance company.
From your garage, you stole tools?
Yeah. Mostly chainsaws.
Tim, you want to take a shot at that motion?
You got it. I'd like to make a motion to approve the design and installation of the handicap accessible playground and pickleball court at Eagle Park.
You have a second?
Second.
Bill, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And I just forgot to tell you too, we're in the process of B&M Tree Services taking down several trees that are heaving up the paths. And we're putting in tens of thousands of dollars worth of time in tree removal and redoing the paths at Eagle Park. So it's a a phase one and a phase two, if you want to think of it that way.
Okay, next one is the after-school rocker launch working.
So, yikes.
Wait,
All right, so let me.
can't see anymore.
I will explain. We started a brand new program called ERC, Exercise the Right Choice, or Education, Recreation, and Cultural Arts. And it's a brand new approach in cooperation with Superintendent Brummett to take the kids every other Tuesday on Teacher Tuesday, where they have half days. We bus the children that have parents that want to have their kids come here and be supervised and have activities from the 4 elementary schools and the 2 middle schools, and they get bused here. And we have staff that are trained and oriented and equipped for, and have specialists come. So one of the activities they're going to do is rocket model shooting at Mill Pond across the street here. And for those of you who don't know, there's a rule and regulation of the Parks Board that says any aerial displays in the parks have to be approved by this board and not allowed by general public for safety reasons. So that's why we brought this to your attention, if you wouldn't mind allowing an educated person, a father, come in that's well-versed on the equipment to show the kids what model rockets are and what they look like shooting them up in the air.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's, that program's really popular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna be able to expand or?
Well, not this year. We have about 75 children registered, and we want to walk before we run, but I'm anticipating growth in it next year. It's just that getting the staff to work every other Tuesday, only 1 day a week, is difficult. So we're in that process. But I think we have 5 plus an assistant director and a director. So Elliot Markman, the young man that's getting the scholarship, is the director of the program.
Ed, you want to take a shot at the motion?
Make a motion to approve in accordance with the town use of public property, the use of a rocket aerial display and workshop for the Exercise the Right Choice after school program this spring at Mill Pond Park. The actual date planned is Tuesday, May 9th, 2023, but is dependent upon weather and may be adjusted.
Have a second?
Second.
Michaelino, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, the next thing is the various administration and program topics.
Here is, we're recommending Don have after talking to the town clerk about 20 minutes before this meeting, Don has a motion to recommend to you.
Jay, I'd like to make a motion to move forward the time change of Parks and Rec meeting from this date forward to 6 p.m.
Okay,
from 7 p.m.
anybody got a problem with the 6 p.m.?
Need a second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, Don, your motion passes. Only 6 o'clock.
Yeah. And what that does is, doesn't have to be a special meeting anymore. It would just be our
Yeah.
regular 6 o'clock.
The time seems better anyways. I don't know.
And the reason why we're doing it is,
age, Jay.
Yeah.
6 is better.
Early bird special.
so we deal on that. 4 o'clock, you can go to the restaurant and get a deal, 10% off.
No naps between meeting and dinner.
5% off at Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, man.
Boy.
As long as
Okay.
Irene's the same age as me, it's okay.
Don't even go there.
At least we have fun. Okay, let's get into reports. Installation of scoreboard at Newington High School.
Yes, just wanted to bring it to your attention that everything's all completed now. The scoreboard is at the high school for lacrosse and soccer. That was Mike Turgeon generously donated $7,000 for that. And at Cedar Ridge Construction did the Legends baseball field, which is a little bigger. And that's the baseball scoreboard, and that's $7,000 also. So thank you to both companies. We're going to do a Facebook Live and give them some credit and some publicity for their generosity.
What was the cost to us?
Oh, out of the CIP, it was about 14 or 15,000 each. Yeah. Between 12 and 15. One was bigger, so I think the baseball one was more expensive.
Did the individual teams or facilities buy additional remotes?
Not yet. I think there's some,
Discussion.
yeah, I think there's some discussion. I know Chris Myers bought a couple for his high school players. But I don't know, you know, I told them to go directly to Nevco, so I'm not
Yeah.
totally clear. Yeah, the idea was that the youth sports organizations bought their own clickers. They're as big as our phone. And you can hit a button and everything's automated and it turns on, turns off. It's remarkable. Real technology nowadays is the most fascinating thing in the world. It's crazy.
Okay, so you covered B. How about C, which is like being extravaganza?
Okay, so the extravaganza, we were blessed with beautiful weather. I mean, you know, you catch them bad, you catch them good. We've done a variety of things, but this year was extraordinarily nice. And the staff worked absolutely tirelessly, putting in 70, 80 hours, just day and night. It was incredible.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I'm reading the numbers of credit card versus cash. So interesting.
Oh, yeah, yes, I can comment on that because I know you gave us a heads up, Tim, and thank you. The credit cards that Frontier and Tom Gill and Timmy worked on, and the staff and the IT department, and a lot of people got involved. But the short story is between 25% increase in sales at the beer garden was credit cards, and approximately 40% was credit card money at the carnival. So it's a great idea, great service, and they donated. We traded booths with them, and they didn't charge us a penny. So it was a wonderful thing. And Adil, I think you have some numbers.
Yes. So overall, it was an amazing year. Like Bill said, the weather was really on our side. For the total gross, we had $111,000. And then once you look at the sponsors, we had about 89,000 total with the sponsor of net. And then our sponsors themselves is about $19,000. And taking into account the June events, we had 16,000. So we had about, again, that total net of $89,832, which I'd say is very successful.
Wow, nice job, guys.
So if you add in the 16,000 from the June events, it's hard to tell how you want to look at it.
Mhm.
So if you think we did Motorcycle Madness and Newington Goes Country and Food Truck Friday to raise money for the fireworks, you throw that in and you were over 106,000 profit for the department, which is, you know, astronomically successful. So,
Awesome, to say the least.
Yeah.
You guys did a phenomenal job. June and July. It's just crazy what you guys did.
and thank
It's
you
a
to
lot
yeah.
of products to take on, boy, I tell you.
Well, it's a good product too.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it is.
happy.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody's working together. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of good comments.
Yeah, and it went well. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it went well.
You know, knock on wood, not any trouble
Yeah.
to speak of, you know, and
Yeah,
it's just been a wonderful thing. And, you know, you get some complaints, from some of the neighbors, but then we get compliments from some of the neighbors.
Yeah.
So you just, you know, it's something that I think Newington has become
well,
used to.
what's their complaint?
You
Is
know,
it the all week function?
yeah, people, yeah, the cars parking on the
Yeah.
driveway
Oh,
and
yeah.
the roads, you know, it's a turf thing.
I saw people taking the signs though, the no parking signs way down on Audubon
Taking
near
them-
East Robbins, and they
down?
put like 4 in front of their house. Like, nobody's parking way down there anyway.
Yeah.
They're just making sure of it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But generally speaking, it was a giant success.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good, very good. Start for Park and Rec. There you go. Pool attendance.
Did you want me to share this?
Sure.
I have it.
Yep.
So Nancy Flynn is the recreation supervisor that is overseeing aquatics, and she had shared the numbers with me for the pool, so I'd like to share those with the board. So the attendance breakdown for the summer at Churchill Park Pool, we had 19,177 total visits. Mill Pond Park Pool, we had a total of 23,000 visits. So our total summer 2022 season at both pools, outdoor pools, was 117 visits.
Is that an uptick
Well, this summer.
from the past?
Well, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
we were around 18 and 19,000, so we went to 19 and 23,000. And I think some of it, Don's right, the weather was great and hot, but it also, you have to remember Hadil summer camp, it was gigantic increase. So the numbers, summer camp kids, use a lot of time, pool time. But if anybody asks you, do you need an outdoor pool in Newington? You just
There's the
simply,
figure.
yeah, just here's 23,000 people went to one pool, 19,000 went to another. I don't know how you argue that. It's absolutely incredible.
Does it, when you say 42,000 visits, you don't separate, like, let's say if I went 10 times.
You-
And you
10
went
times.
once, that would be 11 visits?
Right. Yeah, it's,
Yes,
we don't have
individual
unique,
visits.
yeah, we don't have unique
It's
people.
not identified.
Right.
Mm.
Like if you went 30 times, you weren't counted, you'd be counted 30 times, not one time.
I know it's beating a dead horse, but I'm just gonna say it for the record. I think that if we're looking for a new pool in town, then we have to stay open longer this season with global warming, whatever. It's so hot so early in the year and it's so hot late in the year. And I think that if the season was extended, it would be great. And I know it's very hard to get staff to stay on, but even if you could have one pool open with some staff, that would be good. You had a lifeguard training class during the year and train those people to work at the end of the season with the hope of hiring them again the next year. It might be a little carrot for them to come in and work and close the season off or whatever. But I hear a lot of people saying, damn, it's 100 degrees out. I wish we had a pool to go to, or wow, why do I have to go to the splash pad in another town? That's another ball of wax. But I think that if it would go, it would go a lot farther if this season was longer and people would say, well, look, we got a longer season, we got longer life, longer use of the pool. I think our cry for another pool would go a lot, be heard better from powers that be.
Let me ask this question, Bill. These lifeguards, now they normally go back to school. Is that where your problem comes in?
Well, when you're making that kind of decision, there's a few things you have to consider. One is, what are the surrounding towns doing? All the surrounding towns did exactly what we did. We left Mill Pond open an extra week due to, we had Camp S'more here at the municipal, at the Mortensen Community Center. So that stayed open. The college kids go away and the high school kids don't want to work right now. So it's a tough nut. And the other thing is financially, it's a killer because we have to pay out of the recreation budget all the staff for the pools. So we lose about 125,000, 150,000 every year subsidizing the opening of the pool. So it's a financial and people problem, but I understand Eileen's point. I think I feel very strongly about splash pads. I think every town in the world has 1 to 5 splash pads and we have 0. That answers the question of cooling off in April and cooling off in September and October too. But I don't disagree with Eileen. If we had a magic wand and tons of money, I would recommend that.
Well,
If you have new pools, you probably could open them up earlier and say that where April and May is maintenance and getting them ready.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, it's only those 2 months.
well, on that committee we had for the pool, that the pool was going to be solar panels.
Yeah.
So, but that went.
Yeah.
And I think a family destination pool would draw more people to come with their families, where hardly anyone comes to the pools in late August because the sun goes down quicker. But we did stay open 1 to 5 for that last week also, just to keep it running as best we can. I can tell you, this was the first year we all noted it in the office. We said, okay, everybody get ready for all the complaints on Facebook, but there wasn't one this year. I don't know why. Maybe because it rained a few days of that last couple of weeks.
Is there anything with the design of a new pool that would help us out as far as extending the time?
Sure, that we talked in the design, just Jay and Don were on the committee, I think, and we have solar panels to heat the water for the shoulder months, so April to October. And then it had zero depth entry, which would make senior citizens with mobility issues happy, along with people with disabilities and preschoolers. And it also had a slide, a rock wall, and a diving board. And diving boards for middle school kids and high school kids is a big draw. Once we took away, we took all the fun out of public pools some years ago, 20 years ago. And, but yeah, Tom, I think you're onto something. This splash pad has sprays and toys in it and a splash pad adjacent to it. So I believe it would be a much more fun place to go and more people would come.
But you're looking at a $9.3 million pool.
But at some point, we're going to have to get there. I mean, we're putting Band-Aids on these, and you've been putting on Band-Aids on them for how many years? And at some point,
I believe 2007 when it started.
so I'm just, getting
And
some
it's not a few
knowledge
bucks,
myself. So
What'd you spend on mill? 60,000 this year
Yeah,
to get it open?
30 and 30 probably.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
we still losing, are we still losing water at Churchill?
We're catching I think we got the water at Churchill somewhat under control. It took us 2 weeks to open up the wading pool at Churchill, but we did fix the pipes there and the pump. And I think we were satisfied with the small amount of leakage.
Well, we were up around what, 3,000 gallons a week, was it?
Oh, gosh.
3-4 years ago?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was crazy, I know.
There was a broken cracked
I know
pipe.
Bruce tried to tell me it was evaporation. I said, no way, no way. Evaporation. I says, run a camera in that pipe.
Oh, that's funny. But there was, what ended up happening was 14 feet underground from the deep end to the pool pipe went like this and this on an angle to the back to the house, the bathhouse, pump house. And that pipe was completely cracked. So we were losing a ton of water.
We're lucky we never had a cave in there. Right?
Exactly. But what we did was we put a liner in there. We had a company come in for like 30 grand and put a
Like they do in
liner.
the water department, like put
Yes, yeah.
a
But
bladder in it.
yeah, but this thing was only guaranteed for a year, so we were already, that's 3 years ago, so. Yeah, we're again facing the same problems coming up, and then we had a company come in, a really good company come in and jack up the bathhouse sunk. We had those metal girders were all rotted out on the bottom, so we put in some new ones to hold the house back up. So there's been, we've done a little bit of everything to get keep the pools running. And at this time, I'll give a big kudos to Tom LaPierre and Clay Pedigo for making it work and keep juggling what we juggle.
But Tom, to your point, we had the committee. And after the council turned it back to Dom and myself, I think, was it Ed, who you on it too? Who else is on it?
Phil
Phil,
Knowlton.
we're spinning our wheels because the council says, do something. What are we gonna do? I mean, this was a design. And Don and myself just thought it was a waste of time.
Well, it was in the end, it was a total waste of time because they were obviously not interested in moving it.
Right. So.
We only got it to council because we
Right.
managed to cobble together enough votes to
Right.
get it to go to council.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the plan was to have a plan shovel ready for the ARA money to come. And the ARA money came, but we didn't get it. So they used it in
there you
other
go.
places.
We tried, Tom.
It's gonna take an emergency, I think.
Well, the other thing, the old gang they weren't too keen on moving the pool.
Yeah,
Right,
The old Mill Pond gang there, right?
yeah.
yeah.
They started on it.
They wanted to keep it in the same spot.
Yeah,
Every engineer that ever looked at it. said
Yes,
that's
in
not the
no
spot
way.
to put it.
Least possible.
right.
I think if I remember right, Bill, wasn't it $100,000 we spent on studies to bring to
So it was
between,
50 or
we'll say
75.
2000, the master plan to today?
Oh, well over, I think 250. Yeah, I think Mike Fortuna was, one of his bills was like 134.
I thought I had it because, I don't know, my phone doesn't keep the same folders that my
Yeah.
laptop does. I don't understand why. But anyways, yeah, we spent a lot of money, talked a lot about it. Here we are.
We thought it was a good idea, but the council did.
No.
Well, anyways, okay, the next thing is the camp recreation.
Yeah, summer camp had a great summer. Hadil was glad she's here again. She could take credit for it. The numbers from COVID to here, I think we were at 480 to 500 kids this summer. And Hadil, I'll let you expand upon it.
Yeah, so as much as it is important to, make a profit off these programs, I did want to highlight that I wanted to make a very high quality program, and we did notice that in registrations, we had a lot of out-of-town residents come. A lot of great field trips, special guests. Overall with our staffing, we, knock on wood again, we didn't have any major issues this year. It was a very smooth year. We had a great staff. I made sure we were very fully staffed. Subs were always available. And after, taking out the costs and everything, we had a net of $224,000, which I'd say was a successful summer.
Yeah.
So
What were the numbers what was the cost to put on the staff and the cost and then the gross revenue?
yeah, so our staff was $252,000. So that's again, minimum wage is at $15 right now, I believe. 14,
July.
okay, it's going up to
In
15 in June, yeah, so our gross though was $530,000.
That's
So when you take
amazing.
out,
Yep.
yes,
Wow.
so it was a great year, and again, the net was 224, and that's with all the field trips, all the special guests, all the equipment and everything, and
T-shirts,
t-shirts. Our summer camp kids.
pizza
are
parties every
really-
Friday.
Yeah, every Friday.
Hot
it was either a
dogs.
cookout or a pizza party.
Ice cream.
And I also wanted to make sure, that the staff had a great summer, the kids had a great summer, so I'm very, very happy with how the program was this year.
Yeah.
I had 2 grandkids in that program, and they loved it.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
And if you want to talk about hiring kids, a hiring program and a training program for these young adults, it's unbelievable. We're at just for summer camp kids to get $250,000 of staffing money to go to college or high school, whatever they're doing. But they get training galore and orientation galore. And it's a nice thing. You have to come here and really feel it. And it's wonderful. And then they're using the pool. They each get a swim lesson for free. They each get recreational swim, train rides, they're playing golf, they're doing, Frisbee. It's incredible. So.
Yeah, and I would go around and, I talk to the kids and see how the campers were, and all from Churchill to Mill Pond, K to 8, the kids were having a great time, and that's what we wanted to focus on. And this year too, we had a lot of returning staff. We didn't have to hire that many. I think we hired a handful, like 3 or 4, and they were all just subs. So it's also
That's
nice to
good.
see a lot of returning staff.
Yeah, and working with the kids at the various events, you can see that, like at the carnival.
And they're into it.
Yeah, they're into it, and then their
Like,
kids that they had in camp come up to them, maybe they had them 2 years ago or whatever it is. It's very friendly, they're a nice group of kids, they really are.
Mostly high school and college, right?
A high school, college, yeah, yep.
of the kids that I see at the high school, they all had positive things to say about it. Some of them, they were like, oh, I can't wait to go back next year. It was so fun. I'm glad I did it. So no complaints. So it's really, really good.
And next year's already, field trips are already planned out. We have everything on a calendar set and ready to go. So, we're in a really good spot. I'm very, very proud of how this program, how far it's come.
Tim, did you have a question? You had your hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to say my son was at Summer Sunshine Camp. He absolutely loved it, and he's looking forward to going next year.
Great to hear.
Great. So Summer Sunshine is an additional program, not those numbers, but another 35 kids that are preschoolers, 3 to 5 years old. And that was a tremendous success too, and very pleased with the staff and everybody. Even Billy's daughter, Nicole,
That's right.
was unbelievable. I think she had a pleasant experience. I don't want to talk for you, but we had a pleasant experience with her.
Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah.
She's gonna come back, I think, next Friday for something.
Yeah, good.
Do we still do that Camp Sunrise where the kids get breakfast?
Sunrise was a special needs camp.
That's in
Glastonbury.
I think Glastonbury, we
Well,
have
what
Camp
did-
S'more.
Did we have something where kids would come in and get breakfast? No?
Oh, early arrival. That was
Early
like,
arrival?
like for people who had to drop off their kids early before
Okay.
camp would start.
Our camp starts at 7:30 a.m.
They
And
can
runs
bring their
until-
breakfast snacks.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
that's
Going back
what
to
they
Bob Stanley.
Yes.
A
So it runs-
flashback.
Yeah.
It runs from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We don't have like early or late because the hours are just, pretty extended themselves.
And is that, do you take out of town kids or
Yes, we do.
you do?
Yes.
And it's full? Like, do you have room for more kids in your program?
We actually did max out, the only site we didn't max out was the 6 to 8 site, but it was really close to the max. And I think this is our first year where we had to place a max. It's either our first or
Yeah, and
second.
we had many in the front office, we were taking families on a waiting list, like, this
Wow.
was the first summer since I've worked here that we've ever maxed out for camp. Like, parents were calling or coming in and we're shocked that it was full.
So
And
do out of towners get to sign up at the same time as in towners, or do the in towners get first pick and then the out of towners come later?
So they sign up at the same time, there's just a higher rate for the out of towners.
don't we have residents first?
No, not for programs, yes, but not for summer camp,
Okay.
Yep.
And then we charge a minimum of 10% more for out of town
correct,
and probably a lot more for the summer camp program.
yes,
But I think our price is still pretty attractive, right?
it is.
Compared to the market.
Yes, it does go up with minimum wage, and I mean, again, when, it has gone up significantly since I started taking on the program, but it's still, when you compare it to other towns,
Yeah.
it's still significantly less, and we offer a much
More.
greater range of hours and more. We do a field trip every single week, pizza party every week,
That's
And
good though.
what you have, I think I know, I'm following where you're going. And when I first got here 8 years ago, there was a whole bunch of out-of-town employees that were getting their kids for free to go to programs here. So we stopped that. But we had to do something to kind of compromise and provide a service for the people that work here, that maybe, work at the engineering plant or something else, and they need a place to put their kids for the summer. So we're trying to be all things to all people, but we charge out of towners to pay for a pretty significant number to help subsidize it.
And then we also did 2 weeks of Camp S'more this year as opposed to just the 1 week. And so that was also, we reached the maximums. We set maximums again for the first time. We reached those maximums easily. And that was a gross of $45,000 with a net of $23,000. So again, pretty
And
successful.
This was the first year we added the second week of Camp S'more. So we expanded to 2 weeks. And that was in response to parents saying, what am I going to do with my kids after 7 weeks of summer camp? And there's still time off and they don't go to school yet. So we extended that. And we also extended the Camp the preschool program,
Summer sunshine.
Summer sunshine.
Summer Sunshine, thanks. And we extended that to 9 weeks. So we're trying to help the parents that are both working and they're back out of their houses from COVID and back into the office.
Hey, Bill, I have a question. Does Park and Rec, maybe we could think about for the camp programs for next year, offering for the in-town residents first before the out-of-town residents, like all the other programs?
Yeah, the reason why we don't do it is one, it's our biggest moneymaker, and there's no taxpayers' money that goes into it.
Mhm.
And so at one time, 8 years ago, we were begging for people to sign up for summer camp. I think your point and Eileen's point is we will look at that for next year.
Because I'd hate, I know an out-of-town resident, yeah, we get more money, but I'd rather have a Newington resident go in before an out-of-town resident for some
Yeah, me
camp
too, me
program.
too. Me too.
Okay.
Do you know what the ratio is, out of town versus in town?
And
I would say 95% of the registrations I do are in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to remember, we used to not have a cap for limits, so years past, there would have been no reason to put Newington residents first, because there used to be no capacity, because we never hit capacity.
Did you
Yeah.
turn away any Newington residents that you can think of?
She said there was a waiting list.
so there was a waiting
Yeah,
list.
waiting
Newington residents?
But the waiting list wasn't until the last 2 weeks anyway, so then again, it's
Well.
partial procrastination
Oh,
at that
they're
point.
trying to.
Yeah.
Also, we did, so if our cap was, let's say, 120 kids, I would increase that, assuming that a child was out on vacation that day or a child would be sick, whatever it may be. So I would try to include as many kids as I can by increasing that.
I have to disagree that there's no taxpayer money involved, because just in terms of the maintenance of the pools and the fields and everything else that goes on, that's taxpayer money, so I have to feel like Newington residents should be given, even if it's just a week, and even if it's announced, Newington residents get a week to sign up, and after that, we're opening it up to anybody, just so that somebody doesn't complain that, why is Joe Schmo from West Hartford in, and I live in this town and I pay my taxes and I can't come, that seems. Just
Have you
seems
ever
like-
gotten any complaints? Have you ever gotten any complaints?
No, so before the end of the school year, what I do is we begin advertising by just sending to all the students in Newington Public Schools the summer camp program. So this way they receive it. And then following that, we begin advertising on our Facebook page. That being said, we don't restrict non-residents, but we are focusing on advertising more towards just residents.
And if it really is a 95% to 5% ratio, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay, pavilion rentals, Lily?
Yeah, we have some good numbers there, Melissa.
Yeah, so we looked at the Pavilion rental numbers from last year, so we open up in April. And it goes to right after Columbus Day. And so in 2021, we made $15,832.50 from Pavilion rentals. And at Churchill Park, and so far this year in 2022, and we're still getting people calling regarding the rentals. So I'm sure this number will be added to before the middle of October. So far we are at $17,080 in 2022. So
So what do we got? Three at Churchill?
3 at Churchill, 1 at Mill.
Okay.
Mill got vandalized pretty hard, so we closed that down pretty fast. We got rid of the octagon table. They just kept carving into it or spray painting bad things on it.
Any other questions on that? So,
Yes,
go ahead, Tom.
as far as the pavilions and, it was August 8th when the church, a large church took the middle pavilion and had extremely lot of people there. And, it pretty much overtook the other pavilions also. So is there's nothing as far as saying, how many people should be going to the event?
we let people know, we do those registrations in person because we have to check licenses for residential rates. We do let them know what the maximum number of people at each pavilion should be. So we're trusting that they're gonna follow that number when they go there.
Is it 180, 180, something like that?
We say 150 for the middle pavilion and 165 for the upper pavilion.
Who was the church? I'm gonna go there tonight.
I pray or what?
I need it.
I was using the the small pavilion.
Oh, okay.
And it just got inundated
Yeah.
with parkers, parking cars and it was, I mean, you couldn't, you had a hard time finding a place to sit down, out of the pavilion, I mean, all the way down to the pond.
If you tell us the church,
Well, I'm not.
We would be able
We'll
to
check
look
our
that,
records
we
on
could
that.
look that up.
August 8th.
on
Till
record.
August 8th,
So no,
you'll find out.
Well, no, the reason being is if it is a problem, you don't want to have it be a problem again. So what we would do is we would encourage them to rent all 3 pavilions. Yeah.
160 people is a lot of people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, if there's 3 people in a car.
The 2 others at 150 each. That's
That's
460.
It's not even enough parking for all these people.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Yeah, so
Good, say the church sound, I dare you.
I do not know.
Tom, you're in trouble.
Right to hell.
Okay. Next on the report, AARP Outdoor Fitness Celebration, September 10th, 2022.
Yeah, so I asked the staff if they wanted to do one special event each Saturday, or do they want to do 2 special events in one Saturday and get a Saturday off? That's the kind of guy I am. So,
Wow.
So they took the 2 Saturdays off.
Yeah.
So anyway, we decided to go with the food and fitness with AARP. They had about $5,000 grant to buy Italian gourmet box lunches. We hired some fitness instructors. We had a DJ and we gave away our AARP giveaways, chocolate and stuff. And it was fun. We had a great time. Some people were introduced to the exercise equipment for the first time and how to use it. Neighbors were there and happy. So it was fun, great time. And thanks to AARP for funding it all for us.
Okay, next item is the Waterfall Water Lantern Festival,
Yep. And
September 10th.
yep, that was September 10th, same day, Saturday. We moved from Clem Lemire over to Mill Pond and went 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock or so. And we had our beer and wine and train rides. And they're a little shy of 3,000 lanterns were sold. Probably if 2 people were in a family or 3 people, you could imagine 6,000 or 7,000 people were there. We were just elated for everything, and it was our biggest fundraiser, one day fundraiser that we've ever had. So very, very exciting. Just a little shy of 20 grand profit. So it was a fun time. They're welcome to come back anytime, and we had only 1 cop and no trouble, knock on wood. And
Very peaceful.
yeah, and thank you to everybody that volunteered it.
The food trucks.
Happy Heroes.
Killing it.
Oh, my
You
God.
should see the lines at the food
They
truck.
Really?
made a ton of money.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Did anyone tell you what their receipts were? Were they brag or no one could have cried?
No, but they were very, very happy. I
Yeah.
did see them at a fair the next weekend and they were telling me how happy they were.
Yeah.
There was like 50 people in line for the lobster guy from Maine. And I think the smallest price was like $34.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
That food truck is that good, that's why.
Yeah.
Dave's cousin
Apparently.
lobster, oh yeah, yeah. He'll be in New Britain tomorrow, so.
Were you there, Tim? Did you try the barbecue truck? Because that guy was also killing it.
No, I was not, so.
There's only so much Tim can eat.
Oh,
Challenges,
Picking on you, Tim.
only challenges.
Tim, where are they gonna be in New Britain?
They're gonna be at Central Park tomorrow, I think 11 to 2 o'clock.
The same company?
That's a bummer. Mark.
The main cousin lobster, the lobster.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
they'll be there tomorrow.
Nice.
Next item is Cherish Our Children ceremony, September 11th.
Yep. So then the next day we went over and had 180 chairs, folding chairs, and there was a nice crowd for Cherish the Children is somewhat of a solemn walking parade from the funeral home over to our place, and Newington Memorial does a lot of good there, and it recognizes children that had passed away way too early. So very solemn celebration, I guess, of life and memories. So very touching. And kudos to Steve Tofeld, donates a lot of his time and effort to help the program get off to a great start.
Next to the dog park, grand opening, September 14th.
Yep, and then we went to Tuesday night from 4:30 to 6:30 and had the grand opening of the dog park. The mayor and Keith Chapman, the town manager, and some board members and some town council people all cut the ribbon. And we had, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on events, but we bought $10 worth of whipped cream, and that was the biggest hit ever. We did pup cups for the dogs, and they had whipped cream cups, and all the masters loved it, the dogs loved it, the newspapers loved it, Channel 8 loved it. So it was quite funny, and we had music. We were playing, Hadil had a playlist of dog-related music. So Don Woods thought he caught us on one song. This doesn't sound like dogs. All of a sudden, the singer is going, and they called it Puppy Love. It was pretty funny. And we also had 7 booths that businesses in town and around the area that do dog services. So there was treats, and there was grooming, and there was daycare and walking services and all kinds of fun stuff. So tremendous success. Everybody seemed to have a great time.
Next item is the concert series on Sundays at municipal parking.
Yep, we're going to end this Sunday, our 35th concert, outdoors, mill and municipal parking lot. And it's 12 to 3 o'clock, and they're still really well attended, and people love it. And there's picnic tables out there. It's just a great time. And I hope it's good for the businesses, for economic development. I don't know, I have to talk to Janet Murphy and Keith Chapman as to what they want for the future, because a lot of that was grant money from the ARA, American Recovery Act. So we'll see if, because we're going to have to start planning those concerts probably in November, December. So we're going to have to know that fairly soon. But I think it's nice to have that kind of music for free in this community. It seems to be well received.
The Saturday night concerts, Bill, I went to 2 of them. They were well attended. It was great. I like that. I hope you continue it for next year.
Did you say Saturday nights or Thursdays?
The Saturday night ones, my boys loved it.
Yeah.
They were up there dancing with everybody. It was fun. It was good.
That's really nice, really family oriented.
Yes.
Well, the next item, you already introduced us to Nancy Glenn and Roderick Smith, the new recreation supervisors.
Yeah, two really good quality people. And Roderick has his master's degree in sports management out of UConn, and Nancy Glenn has years of experience at the South Windsor Parks and Recreation Aquatics program. So we're expanding her horizons a little bit. She's going to get involved in a lot more programs. She's taking on preschool also.
Next item is you exercise the right choice ERC after school program.
Yep, I kind of talked about that already. It's the 4 elementary schools, 2 middle schools in cooperation with the Board of Education. It's becoming a very popular program, and it's really fun to watch the community center fill up in the afternoons at 1 o'clock, 1:30, and the parents pick their kids up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. It's quite nice.
Did you want me to share with Nancy?
Oh, yeah, she wrote a little paragraph about it.
Nancy Flynn is the recreation supervisor that oversees the ERC program, and she had typed up a little summary, so I'd like to share that with the board. It says the Exercise the Right Choice program is held on all 13 Teacher Tuesdays throughout the school year. On September 13th, we kicked off the year with 75 students in grades K through 8. This is the first year that the program is being held at the Mornington Community Center rather than the 4 elementary schools. The students were bused from their schools to the Mornington Community Center, where they were welcomed by all 7 ERC staff members. The afternoon consisted of games, homework help, team building exercises, and more. The first Tuesday was a success. Throughout the school year, we have special activities planned, such as clowns, Amazing Andy, dance parties, cooking demos, and more. We are looking forward to all further Teacher Tuesdays to come.
Good, and that's the rocket demonstration also is one of those events. So it'll be fun. It'll be a good thing, and the parents are so pleased that we're providing that service to them.
The next is the renovation of Newington High School baseball field
Yeah, just,
by Championship Turf.
yeah, just want to let you know that tomorrow, I'll be meeting with the contractor early, but they're just going to finish up the baseball field, and we dug out 3 or 4 inches of the riverbed silt. We laser graded the subsurface. We pulled back 6 to 8 feet of lips of the turf around the horn. We brought in new Dura Edge product that we've been using at Clem-Lemire. It's great in the summer. It doesn't get dusty, and when it rains, it takes on water really well. It drains well. We tried something new this year. We put in clay bricks in the pitcher's mound and at home plate and behind the catchers where the catcher stands, which is going to be a nice to minimize maintenance and stop, these guys digging holes in those areas. And then we're going to sod the edges tomorrow, and they redid the sprinkler systems, the sprinkler heads, adapted them to the new look. And I think we'll be completed, and hopefully the sod will catch. It'll take about 6 weeks maybe to knit strong. And we'll be really excited to have it for March of next year for the high school kids.
Is there any talk about turfing the football field?
I mean, for 8 years, I've always recommended
Me
it.
too.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. You have an
I
infrastructure.
almost had Berlini convinced,
Yeah,
and then Collins put it off and put it off.
yeah,
I guess we're the only high school around that still has grass.
yeah. You have the infrastructure there. You got the locker rooms, the concession stand, the lights, the bathrooms, the track. It just makes great sense to put in field turf, or not field turf, but synthetic turf, because then you could program the heck out of it and use it 24/7 every two hours. Where now on that stadium, we really only put maybe 6 to 8 home football games, maybe 1 or 2 JV games, 1 soccer game, 1 not field hockey, but 1 lacrosse game. That's about it. When you could really use that thing a lot more.
Have you ever gone through the maintenance costs for the season?
Yeah, I have. Some people think it comes out about the same because you have to do different things to plastic versus real grass, dirt, and natural grass. But what you really gain is playability. When it rains, you're still playing, and you can just keep beating the hell out of the fields. So you can have soccer from 10 to 12, and then you can have football from 12 to 2, and then you can have field hockey and whatever. You just keep playing on it and never worry about ruining it.
Well, the only thing I can see is that, number one, you don't have to line the field.
No.
And you only have to, rubberize it once a year?
Yeah, twice probably.
Right, once or twice a
Yeah,
year.
$10,000, $5,000 each time.
That's right. We don't do that ourselves, do we? Do we?
We try.
Do we get the
Yeah,
equipment
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do it?
yes, but it's
Too much, huh?
we're not good at it. You really need a professional that knows how to use that stuff.
Plus, we get a lot of garbage at Clem-Lemire, right?
They take about 9 giant garbage bags of bobby pins and Band-Aids and nickels and pennies. And just stuff that falls into that rubber.
How close are we on that one? Replacement, pretty close
A
now.
couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
but,
I mean, we're,
I think we're 12 years, what was it,
It said 12.
2011, when it was put in?
It said 10, but we.
Jay.
Yeah.
It's not leaking water.
Yeah.
Is it true?
yeah, it's past its time. They guarantee it for 8 years. So we're on 12, I think. So it's just a matter of time. We spent several $1,000s on having them sew this. It's starting to rip apart and the lines come out. It's like anything else here.
What are we talking about, 750,000?
Yeah, it's not that.
We got about, 150,000 in CIP?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
Bill, I just wanted to give a shout out to Eric. I will say that he does a phenomenal job getting that field ready for the football games, and everyone comments, look at how nice the field is, look at how nice the field is, and especially the center of the field. And last game, Sellington came through and they came out with their big flag. And they were so sportsmanship minded that they came and planted their flag in the center of the field in the middle of the end. And the kids were like, they're ruining our field. They were so mad because it was so nice. But,
Do they still put the decal on the center?
yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. He does a great job.
$1,250 for paint for that one.
Yeah.
But anyways.
It's more than that now.
Oh, yeah.
If you can get it.
Yeah, if you can get
Get
it.
it, right.
Yeah, we bought the best paint machine there is now, and you know, we invested good money in equipment, and it shows, right? I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
when you have good stuff and good paint and good
Even the
quality,
away team, they always say, wow, this field looks great.
Yeah. yeah, I couldn't say enough good about it.
So Eric's been doing that forever.
He's so good at it.
Eric O'Neill is totally committed
Yeah.
to this department.
Yeah.
He is the
I
man.
know he's a good worker.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's nothing he would do anything. He'd do a backflip if he could to help us. He's always there to help. And it's noticeable. And thank you for bringing that up because, yeah, you hear a lot of the negative stuff, but yeah, Eric does a tremendous job. And he teaches the new young people how to do it too, which is nice.
Okay, the next thing is Beacon Park.
Oh, the
Oh,
paper for the
Oh,
calendar.
yeah, good news. Got an email from a friend of mine that owns Emmy O'Brien and Sons out of the Boston area. And they're the representative for New England for landscape structures, which is the playground that we standardized on. And they've selected Beacon Park as one of their 12 pictures for their calendar this year. So that's going to be exciting because the calendar will go, to a lot of people. So it doesn't hurt us to get a little publicity and show off our Beacon Park. They were very pleased with the final outcome of it. So that's good.
Well, I got a question, and one thing is not on the agenda, and that's can you fill us in on the test of the lights at Columbia Mere?
Yes, we had Musco come out, Mike Mahoney, who is the salesman for the Northeast, I believe. And they did the test and it came out perfect. So we're very happy about that. The only thing he recognized was the light that we put on the first pole that shoots onto the parking lot was a little high. And he actually is coming tomorrow at 8:30. We're bringing our tree truck over there and he's going to tilt it down a little bit. And then Musco was nice enough to send a giant bulb to redo a light at Volunteer Field. So Ray Gagnon volunteered to do it for free, which is really nice. So we're going to have our truck and he said he'd be happy to do it, put it up in no charge. So pretty nice. I tell you, you can't beat Newington people when it comes to, helping out for sports, youth sports. It's really nice.
I got a question, talking about the Little League field and the softball field. How close are they to replacing those lights, I know they have not tested either one of those fields last time I did it. So I don't know what the foot candles are, but I imagine they're way below Little League standards right now.
I was pleasantly surprised by Musco's response to me, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I think they just redid the softball fields, and those are going to be guaranteed for another 10 years. And I think Volunteer is the old lights. They can't guarantee it anymore. But
1991.
yeah, but they did send us the bulb for the pole that the Little League was complaining about. So I think if we were to, I think ultimately you got to go to LED lights.
Yeah,
for
LED lights,
Volunteer.
yeah.
That was 1991, Jay?
Yeah.
So 90, yeah, oh, holy cow.
And there was no guarantee. The guarantee on that was 5 years, but we had a.
As soon as they drive out of the parking lot? No.
No, but the thing, don't forget, we were one of the first
I know, yeah,
places to have lights.
yeah,
So they really didn't have a feel of what the guarantee was.
right.
But we did buy a contract for $6,500 for 5 years.
Yep,
And in that time, we had light replacement and ballast.
right.
So I don't know where the hell they are now, but I know when I was involved with Little League, we had to submit the foot candles to Little League every year, and I know that's not been done, so they're probably,
Well, we don't get any complaints over there, so they must be okay. Because people are pretty fast to complain to us, that's for sure.
yeah, but that's not it's not Park and Rec's responsibility for those two fields. It's Little League's.
Well, see, Jay, when you were in charge, you took responsibility.
Right.
Like, I can tell you right now, Clay is trying to find lights to replace all the lights at the concession stand at Volunteer. We get stuck with all that because parents move on. They don't know the history. They don't have not that they don't have the commitment. Their kids grow up and they leave. So you get a whole bunch of group of new parents and they go, well, Parks and Rec should fix it for us. And that's what happens.
Well, that's the easy way out.
Yeah. I mean, a hot water heater at Chester's, somebody donated that concession stand at the soccer fields at Newington High School. Well, the hot water heater goes and everyone looks around and goes, I don't know who's wrong. All right, give it to
That's
Parks and
Billy's
Rec.
problem,
Yeah,
right.
let him fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And I'm okay. I mean, I'm used to that. It's happened forever in every town, but it is uncomfortable. Every time someone says, we're going to give it to you for free. I go, there's nothing for free. I know I'll end up spending, money on it. And that's why
But don't forget, I had a special relationship with the Park and Rec at that time where no other town would let you cut the grass.
right.
You go to East Hartford, you couldn't get on a lawnmower and cut the grass.
Yeah.
At least the union was a little,
They worked with you.
he worked with me on that.
That's nice. But you have a special arrangement now with the park board.
Grab your lawnmower, Jay.
It's still there.
I don't know if it's working, but
Probably not.
we spent a lot of money on that.
gonna check on it.
I'll tell you that, in my opinion, the sports complex looks pretty darn nice. I mean, it's not hurting for anything right now. You agree, Bill?
Yeah.
It's got everything. You know what I mean? A softball field, a baseball field, a little league field, a skate park. Pavilion.
Everything's set up.
Yeah.
Not too many complexes like that around.
No,
Took a while to get there, but it's finally
it's something to be proud of.
all 5 venues.
Oh, the playground and the exercise equipment too, yeah. I do know what you guys are talking about Bob Wall.
I just,
People get called, or did you guys get called?
They would yell at me, stop it.
I have one more question. Are you still charging midget football for the lights?
Yes.
Okay.
Charge everybody for the lights.
Yeah, anyone who uses it.
Baseball,
Same with
football.
legends.
No, baseball pays. They
But
used to.
if they're gonna go out in the Legends field, there's gonna be an hour.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
I think it's $30 an hour, right?
Yes,
It's $30 an hour for lights everywhere in Newington. It's all good.
It was 50.
I know.
I took care of that.
You're a tough guy. Well, maybe you were.
Well, I mean, when you're paying $9 an hour for lights, you're gonna charge someone 50? Come on.
American way, Jay.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, midget football got a $500,000 grant for those lights.
I can tell you that Senator Lesser and Representative Gary Turco Melissa and I wrote this little grant to get $500,000 for new field turf. We're still banging on people's doors asking to see if we can get it as a bonding issue. It comes up in October, we'll see. I'd love to get 500,000 and then we put the
See,
150.
we ain't got the same people in there we used to have years ago.
Like Balducci's and
Balducci and Sandy.
yeah, people that had juice.
Yeah, right, you're right.
But times have changed too. Politics has changed. Everything's changed. But we'll see.
But we did get a lot of money from one of them here.
Yep. Oh, we put in a $5,000 grant to AARP too, to have a pickleball every week, a pickleball class for senior citizens in the gym over here for eight pickleball courts. So that'll be fun if we get that too.
Senior do you have to be?
Over 45 over.
Well,
You're in.
Boy, Tom. Anybody on the board have any questions for Bill or myself or anybody? If not, go for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Opposed? Adjourned. Now we gotta meet, Bill.
Oh, on that thing? No, I don't have the wording yet from James, once he sends it to me. But yeah, there's something, I don't know if the council or the committee's working on it, but we'll